Good morning, I guess, still technically morning here in Southern Kentucky, and we are live in historic downtown Bowling Green Stadium Park Plaza. Tony Rose with you guys from a very, very special event, one of our favorite events of the year. It is our 2020 Over the Edge event for the Bear River Area Child Advocacy Center. Jennifer Bryant, how are you doing today? It's good to see you.
It's good to see you. Thank you
Yes.
so much for being here, Tony. We appreciate it.
Everybody, of course, socially distanced as best as
Yes.
possible here in the new norm that is 2020. And for the folks that don't know, of course, we are downtown today. It is the 2020 Over the Edge event. How awesome is it? Is it just being able to do this event this year in the state of the world that we live in right now?
Yes, and that is where we are grateful for this community stepping in even during this pandemic. Sponsoring the event, coming up to Rappel. We're taking all the precautions, of course. We're socially distancing. We're wearing masks and sanitizing everything. And we're just so grateful that the community is still willing to come out for the Child Advocacy Center because, unfortunately, we're about to get more busy, not less, right? We know that social isolation and increased stress, job loss, these things bring about child abuse. So we know even though the reports are down statewide, our numbers locally, we're going to have a record quarter, I think, with the number of kids that we're serving at the Child Advocacy Center. So we're just so appreciative of everyone who's given a donation. Any amount we appreciate. It helps enable the forensic interviews we do, the medical exams, and the trauma-focused mental health treatment of children who we know can move on from abuse, but they need to be in a safe situation and be able to have trauma-focused therapy so that they can move on.
Of course, this is our 2020 Over the Edge event here at Stadium Park Plaza. Today, we're folks from our community, and tomorrow, folks from our community, leaders from our community, are going to be going over the edge of Stadium Park Plaza here, right down in front of Starbucks, rappelling down. This is the third year you guys have done this event here in Bowling Green, and it's a fun two-day event and perfect weather for it this year. It's rappelling, but kind of walk us through what you guys have seen over the last couple of years. Have you seen this event take off?
Yes, folks have to be really brave, I think, to do this. We like to say that it's similar to how brave the kids have to enter and tell their story. It takes so much courage, right? So we have asked community leaders and community individuals to take that step of courage with us, like those kids do. And they've answered our call time and time again. Even people that, don't really like the idea of
What's going on here?
Yeah, so today from noon to 1, we'll have some VIPs and some media going over the edge. We have the fire chief and some people from Scott Murphy and Daniel today. WBKO is a great partner. They have people going over the edge as well. Med Center Health, Team Health. So many folks have stepped up. Tomorrow we'll start at 9 and we'll have people rappelling all day till about 3 o'clock.
Very
so we
cool.
we just ask if people come out, that they spread out, and we take
top of Stadium Park Plaza here, right on the other side of the camera.
And we're outside, so we're blessed by that.
Perfect weather here, and of course the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center, bracac.org for more information. But lots of great board members here today, lots of great members from our community, and we're going to talk to some of them here throughout the day as well. But lots of great sponsors make events like this possible as well. You mentioned Scott Murphy, you mentioned a lot of great names from the community on the banners here that make events like this possible, that really truly care about the community. Who are some of the folks that really help out with events like this?
Yes, that's right. Our ropes today are sponsored by DEI and Kirkpatrick Price. Hero Image. We have had so many people in our community. Broadway Methodist Church, they have a team going over, and the Hero Image helps sell those, we can do hard things T-shirts in honor of our friend Megan Davidson, and just so many great things have taken place that help make it possible.
And of course, today as well, perfect weather, and tell the folks, too, the Over the Edge, like, you got great board members and we got great members from the community, but these aren't just like folks from BRACAC or D93 or wherever up there getting people rappelling off the edge, right?
These are trained, not in charge of that
There are trained professionals up top here at Stadium Park Plaza. Tell us about the Over the Edge for Child Advocacy Group. The Over the Edge, this is a nationwide team, right, that travels?
Yes, they call it Over the Edge Global. They do
Yep.
events all throughout the United States on buildings as tall as 30 stories. I think he even said today they have one at 45 stories. So they've raised over $100 million for nonprofits like us. So far, they have, knock on wood, a perfect safety record. So
Yeah.
we know we're in good hands. They take safety very seriously. It's set up like a
People are going down right now,
OSHA-approved
actually. They're going down right over there on the other
work
side of it.
site. Oh, there they are. Yes,
Like
that's the
Spider-Man
team right
going down the
there.
building over there as
Yeah,
we
I got to
speak.
test those ropes. Yeah, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
right.
So they're locked in and they're ready to go, but everything is checked out and everything is good to go. Like I said, a lot of folks from the community already signed up to be part of it. If folks want to come out, if they want to make a donation, if they want to take part, how can they get involved? If folks are
Yes.
looking for something to do on Saturday and they want to come by, how can
Yes.
folks get involved and be part of this?
You know, that's the great thing about technology, right? In this
Yeah.
time period, all they have to do is jump onto our website, bracac.org, and
Right.
from that site, they can easily give a donation in support of the folks that are going over. So you
Right.
can look it up if you know someone is participating and give a donation in their honor. And then we've started a new Venmo as well, so you can even Venmo Bracac.
It's a fun event, and again, you know, the rain or shine, this event works. A couple of years ago, it was coming a flood out here, and you guys were still rocking and rolling on Saturday. But this is perfect weather this year. Yeah.
Yes, and you know, I just say to that, and I've stood in the rain the last 2 years, but
Yeah.
that pales in comparison to what these kids face, right?
Right.
We have to.
And
we
you
have to
think
do it.
about, you think about what 2020 is, and with kids just now getting back into school
Yeah.
across the board in so many areas. Normally, that would be one of the first lines of defense is seeing these kids in school and knowing something's going on. But now knowing that these cases are going to start coming in more as we kind of get back to a sense of
Yes.
normalcy, and unfortunately, that means more child abuse cases out there. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, teachers are a primary reporting source for child abuse. Over
Right.
30% of reports come in from teachers. So they are key to that. And
Yeah.
also just in knowing children's well-being, right? Being
Right.
that person that child can talk to sometimes, they'll be the first person they tell.
Yeah.
So it's very important to us to get kids back in school the best we can. That is the safest place for some kids. That
Right.
is a reality in our community.
We're here at the 2020 Over the Edge event to benefit the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center, and normally we'd have like 6 people up here, but we're practicing social distancing as everybody should be out there. So I'm going to let you slide out, okay? And I'm going to let you slide out, but we're going to bring over. Do I see Tracy Young over there? Is that who I see over there? We're going to bring over Tracy Young real quick here, and bring her on over. And of course, she's the co-chair of the event this year. Pull up a chair there. We're going to stay properly social distance. Grab the microphone there. Pop. You got to push it on there. Turn it all the way up. Boom. All the way. There you go.
Got it.
Now we're cooking. How you doing? Good to see
I'm
you.
doing great.
Now-
Doing great. Thank you.
This is the rare. You got to get kind of up there too.
Okay.
Because the window. Anyway, this is the rare year that I've had both Youngs. I've interviewed both Youngs on my
That's
Facebook
right.
Live shows
That's
this year.
right. That's
So
right.
we send our best to Bob there as well.
Well, thank you.
But you're the co-chair of this event this year.
Yes,
One
yes.
of 3 talented chairs for the
Oh,
event,
yeah,
right?
it takes us
I've
all.
heard. It
It
takes
takes
a
us all.
village
Yeah, it certainly
to throw
does.
people over the
That's
edge
right.
of the building.
That's right.
First of all, what attracted you to being part of the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center, being part of events, not just like this, but the day-to-day mission of BRACAC?
Yes.
What attracted you to that?
Well, I work for Warren County Public Schools, and so children are my heart. That's where I want to live my life and purpose, to serving children, and particularly our most vulnerable children. And those who know me know that.
Yeah.
So about 4.5 years ago, a couple of friends that were on the board, Child Advocacy Center board, contacted me and asked if I wanted to be a part of the board, and it took me about 12 seconds to say yes. and so anyway, I'm just happy to serve. And I think Ann Barker and Linda Rush are the 2 people who called me, and I'll forever be grateful to them. So I knew of the Child Advocacy Center at that time, but I don't think I really knew
Right.
the magnitude of child sexual abuse in our region.
I think that is something when people learn about what the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center
Yes.
does. I think a lot of people understand that it is a powerful organization, but
Yes.
until you kind of walk in those doors, or you talk to Jennifer or Anna or any of the
Yes.
gang there,
Yes.
and you kind of hear about the overall perspective of things.
Yes.
And you hear some pretty, well, you hear things you just don't want to hear.
No, you don't.
Honestly, you
That's
just want to
exactly
turn
right.
those off
Yes.
and not talk about those
Right.
things. But unfortunately, they're real,
They're real.
especially in a year like 2020. It's more real than
Absolutely.
ever.
Absolutely.
And to be able to be part of that and to help move the meter and to, like I said, that's what I was telling Jennifer just the other day, and I'm sure you feel the same way too. If we don't raise a single dollar this weekend, but if it saves one child's life
Oh
or
my
gets one
goodness.
child out of a
Yes.
toxic situation,
Yes.
it's worth it 10
Yes.
times over.
Yes.
So so you're the co-chair, one of our chairs for the event. Now,
Yes.
so they come to you and say, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to take everybody up on top of Stadium Park Plaza,
Yeah.
about 6 stories up in the air, rough math here, and then we're just going to start pushing them over the edge.
Pretty much. That's
I was going to say, how hard of a sell was that on the home front there?
You know what? Not real. I have been around fundraising
Yeah.
forever. I served over a decade on Family Enrichment Center's board, and
Right.
I'm on the board at the Foundry, and I know a lot of times what it takes is a unique event
Right.
because there's a lot of events out there,
Yes.
but this one, I mean, what?
I'll tell you, I do a few nonprofits myself there. I do a few fundraisers, but yeah, but rappelling is something that it takes. I think that's what's special about events like this. It's like it's there. It's great to have a 5K. It's great to have a mini marathon.
Right.
It's great to have whatever a painting event or whatever. But when you do something that you're doing a good cause. You're moving the meter. You're maybe saving a child's life. But at
Absolutely.
the same time, it's one of those bucket list things.
Oh, it is.
Where
It
it's like,
is.
hey, I'm going to jump in a frozen lake, or I'm going to jump off a building, or something like that.
Right.
And you can walk away from it with a memory.
Yeah.
And you attach the memory to such a great cause. I think that's a big
Exactly. And
thing.
I'll tell you, I have rappelled twice in
Okay.
this event. And
Okay.
I'm going again tomorrow. But the first year, when they tell you to get up on the edge and
Oh, yeah.
to back your heels off of the edge, which just is counter,
Right.
to what you think. And I kept thinking, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And
Yeah.
I really did continue to equate it to the courage that our children we serve have to show
Right.
every day.
Yeah.
And so I was up there the first year and I looked at another board member and I said, I'm not sure I can do it. And he said, you can do it. Think of the kids, think
Yeah.
of the kids. And then there I went.
Because symbolically, that is exactly the way to look at it.
It
You
is.
think about a child who's in a toxic situation, a very bad situation,
Right.
and they, for whatever reasons, not just physical but mental abuse as well.
Oh, yes.
Taking that first step, jumping off that ledge,
Right. Right.
and not knowing what's up there, and not knowing, and then you guys at BRACAC, in a lot of ways, you're that rope, you're that
Yeah,
person on
we
belay
are.
at the
Ye-
bottom.
yes, we are.
To save the day and make sure they get safely
Exactly.
to the end of their journey.
Exactly. It's all about a healing journey. It is not about a service on a given day. It's about multiple services over a
Right.
long period of time. Our goal is healing for those kids,
And-
which we know is so important because
Right.
they grow to be adults and we need them to be healthy and mentally strong. And so that's our goal.
And we look at the numbers here, there's also, too, here's the great thing about it, too, this weekend, even if you don't want to rappel, even if you don't want to go over the edge, if you just want
Right.
to come out, maybe make a donation or just
Yes.
chat with the board members and volunteers and members of the community that are here.
Yes.
But you look at some of the facts.
Oh,
It's just
yes.
absolutely staggering. You guys have
Devastating.
these here that folks can take with them, but I think it's worth educating folks out there. 400,000 children are sexually abused each and every year.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the U.S. right here. That means 1 in 10 children
Yeah.
face some sort of, just horrific situation.
Sexual abuse before
Yeah,
they turn 18.
Before they turn 18.
Yeah.
Think about that. 500,000. It'll be
Yeah.
close to 500,000
Well,
probably by the time the new
and Tony,
numbers are
this
out.
is how I always explain it. Think about Bowling Green and Warren County
Yeah.
alone, and all the counties we serve. That means in every classroom, 2 to 3 kids in every single classroom will be sexually abused before they turn 18.
And first of all,
That's
it's,
the reality.
it's unacceptable, but unfortunately, that's the reality.
That's the reality. Yeah.
And again, this isn't making this a COVID thing or a 2020 thing,
Right.
but unfortunately, with the nature of this year,
Yeah.
with the way this pandemic has played out, you're just going to have more and more
Right.
bad situations
Right.
pop up.
Many kids are quarantined at home with their perpetrators.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
And that's scary.
It
that
is.
is scary.
It
yeah.
is. And so, we are needed. The services are needed. They're critical for these kids.
Yeah.
And so we're just so grateful to the community because we've had a great response. And I have to say,
Yeah.
before my time is up, right now we have raised, our goal is 92,000.
92,000 was the
Yes,
goal.
90
Okay.
We are at 89.5.
Ring the bell.
89,500.
Ring the virtual bell right there for
Yeah,
that. So
and,
almost to 90. Yeah.
Yes, and so what we have a Venmo. It's
Okay.
at BRACAC, at BRACAC.
Okay.
And if you go to Venmo, you can Venmo us a donation. Our goal is 92,000,
Right.
and wouldn't that be something? We have never reached that goal.
Wow.
And to reach that, if we were to reach that in a year of a pandemic when
Right.
so many people are still at home, you can make your donation virtually. It just would be such a gift.
Right.
Our acute services,
Okay.
and Jennifer may have already told you this, are up 500% during this pandemic.
Wow.
Our
just-
acute services.
Now, define what an acute service is for the
That
folks
is
that may
when
not
we
know.
get the emergent call. There's a
Okay.
kid in need, and we need to respond ASAP. So
Okay,
they come in.
So a
and
law enforcement agency may
law
be
enforcement's
calling.
involved, yes, and
or
child services,
services, social workers, something like that. But they're like,
Absolutely.
you guys have got to get here now.
yes,
At this
and-
moment,
and
because it's a life or death situation.
That's right. That's right.
And once again, to throw that number out there, that has
We're
went
up
up.
500% during this
500%.
pandemic with those acute cases.
That is
We need
unreal.
help.
That is unreal. I
Yeah.
mean, those are the things that you get goosebumps
Yeah.
when you hear about it.
Yeah.
Because you think about, it's so much more during a pandemic
Yes.
than just our safety and social distancing and masks, which
Right.
are all important. Washing your hands, all important.
All of
But
it's,
you
yeah.
think about the trickle down long term situations.
Yes.
That
Yes.
folks like the Barron River Area Child Advocacy Center, which
Yes.
we're here today for Over the Edge, talking about and promoting and hoping that we can raise tons of money. But you
Yes.
think about all our groups out there. I mean, we're talking about the family enrichment centers of the world. We're talking
Right.
about our family resource centers of the world.
Absolutely.
All of these groups, it's all going to eventually trickle down.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
now is a great time for folks as we start to kind of maybe turn that corner
Right.
and to get out of this thing as
Right.
2020 heads into its final quarter to start making that difference and help
yeah.
it prepare for this next wave, which isn't about shutdowns and lockdowns and quarantines,
Right.
but about the results of those
That's
things.
right. That's exactly right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. And our team, we've worked through it all. We have seen children through it all. We are making remarkable strides with our kids, particularly through our trauma-informed mental health services.
Right.
They're the best group of people, and they care so deeply about kids.
Yeah.
So I will tell you, you guys, every dollar goes to those children. Every dollar helps a child, particularly as we grow our mental health therapy services. Those are critical for those kids. So, guys, we are $2,500 away. $2,500 away. So
$2,500.
please
We're
go
right
to
there.
Venmo and
Right
go
there.
to at BRACAC, at BRACAC, and just give whatever you can. No donation is too small.
Well, I know you've got a lot of stuff going on, but as a co-chair, hats off to you and,
Oh,
and the whole gang here.
Yeah.
And I see folks roaming around here, okay, and I got people. There's cameras everywhere, by
Yes,
the way.
yes.
One thing, people like to take pictures when they're jumping off the edge of a
That's
building.
right, that's
What is the deal with that?
That's right.
But we're having a great time. But now, do you see Chrissy anywhere over there? Where's Chrissy? Do you
Let's
see her?
see.
Is she down here right now?
There
I wanna
she
get,
is, right
okay,
here.
I'm gonna let you put that microphone down right there, and I'm gonna let you go over there and grab her. I don't want to yell at her there. Bring her over because she does programs, right? Programs with the Barron River Area Child Advocacy Center. So I'm gonna bring Chrissy over right now. Bring her on in here to our live show. Again, you guys are watching, if you're watching us across social media, whether you're watching us here on D93 or Talk 104, the Daily News page, also on Twitter and YouTube as well, on the Tony Rose page is there. We are downtown Bowling Green. Yeah, it should be all the way up. Is it all the way up? All the way to the top. Yeah, you're good. Yes. We're at our 2020, this is our third annual Over the Edge for Child Advocacy event here, where folks from the community for the next 2 days are going to be rappelling over the edge of Stadium Park Plaza like a bunch of knuckleheads. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say just because I won't do it, because I'm always in the chicken coop over on the side right there, away from everybody. But actually, it's very brave individuals from our community representing the bravery in these children in our community through the Barron River Area Child Advocacy Center. Lots of great folks out today, and folks are already getting ready to head over for the next 2 days. It's going to be that way. We're joined by Chrissy Sherrod, right?
Yes.
How are you doing? Good to see you.
Good. How are you?
I'm here. I'm daunted by this wall, which is right off camera over here to my right on camera.
I hear this is the year you're going over.
I'm not willing. I know that. No, I admire the bravery. I've already seen folks from the Bowling Green Fire Department here
Absolutely.
today. I've seen folks from Scott Murphy already all coming out in the next 2 days. It's going to be a great time with our friends from the Over the Edge global group that goes around and they do events like this. Such a unique fundraiser. Chrissy, tell the folks what you do with the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center. Programs. What kind of how are you involved in the lives of families and children?
So I'm the assistant director at the Child Advocacy Center and also a victims advocate. So I wear
Okay.
a couple different hats. I've had the privilege to be at the center for 8 years.
Wow.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow's my 8-year anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
I don't know what 8 years is, but it's a happy anniversary nonetheless.
8 years of being at the center.
There you go.
I am honored to be one of the longest standing staff that we have right now. And so I've gotten to see so much growth in the
Right.
last few years. I know Jennifer and Tracy, probably talked with you about that. We do a lot of different things. We are able to provide services to children and families.
Yeah.
We provide forensic interviewing. We do medical exams, mental health services, ongoing advocacy for all of our children and families that we see. We do a lot of things out in the community,
Right.
and we serve 10 counties. And so we're very active in those other counties and those other teams as well.
So that's one thing too. A lot of folks, when they see an event happening in Bowling Green, we see this. We have Stuff the Bus and so many other events too. They think it's just Bowling Green, Warren County, but it's such a bigger footprint than that.
Absolutely.
And you start thinking about a lot of times too when you get further out into these counties, the need is there multiplied 10 times over. A lot of times you don't realize that you get into some of these smaller communities and they're very tight niched, but if there's a situation there, you guys are there for those situations.
What we found a lot of times is the other communities don't have as many resources. We're
Yeah.
very fortunate here in Warren County to have great resources because we are, a larger size county, but in some of those outlying counties, they don't have that. And so
Right.
we do see the need in those smaller counties for sure.
Of course, 8 years now you've been with the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center. You've seen the growth. You've seen events like this come along. You've seen events like the Great Teddy Bear Run,
Yes.
which happens usually in the spring, but
Mhm.
again, in a Corona world, a different time of year, but
Right.
still. But you've seen events like that continue to grow, and the loyalty from the community for events like that, and because they know where the need is. In your 8 years, did you ever imagine tackling a year though like 2020 and the adversity, not only from just physically keeping the doors and the lights on side of it, but also kind of knowing of, okay, well in 6 months this is what we're going to be looking at. In 6 months from there, here's what we're going to be looking at. Did you ever anticipate 2020 being the way it has turned out?
Never, and I think everybody, speaks that same tune. However, what I can say is we were deemed essential from the beginning because we knew that our doors were going to need to be open and we were going to need to continue seeing kids.
Right.
Unfortunately, what we're anticipating is what's going to happen, 3 months from now or
Right.
6 months from now when kids get more acclimated into school and start making those referrals of things that may have happened while they were in quarantine. We've already seen our numbers increase since kids have been back in school. And so, while no one could imagine 2020 the way that it has been, we know that there's still a need yet to come.
Yeah, and we talk about some of those numbers, and I was talking about that just a little bit ago with Tracy as well. Staggering numbers that are scary, that give you chill bumps when you read them and you do the research and you see these numbers, and these are numbers that unfortunately trend up when there's more quarantine and times at home.
Absolutely.
But we're looking at just some facts. Almost 500,000 kids a year in the U.S. are victims of sexual abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that, 500,000. And it's roughly about 1 in 10 kids. 1 in 10. We were talking about that earlier. Think about a classroom. 3 kids in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
3 kids in a classroom. Some other numbers here. 90%. Talk about quarantine. Talk about situations where things you can't control right now. Okay, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We get that. But 90% of the victims of child abuse, abused by someone they know and trust. 60% are acquaintances. 30% are immediate or extended family. Only 10% are actual just strangers. The stuff that you always hear about, like, oh, don't go there or don't talk to them. But usually you know the perpetrator, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I would say for us, our numbers are higher than that 30% being family. and that's the concern that we faced early on with this pandemic, is that we realized that a lot of our kids were in the home with their abusers, and they're obviously we can't help that, like you said,
Yeah.
it's a pandemic, but that was a concern because we see so much familial sex abuse, so much, and so that's always been a concern of ours. Those numbers are astonishing. The 1 in 10, like you said, 3 kids in every classroom at least.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important that events like what we're having here today, it's a fundraiser. There's going to be laughs. There's going to be good times. There's going to be lots of silly
Absolutely.
pictures and silly videos and all those things. And you're going to see it all over Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. But the bottom line message is, on many levels, but the bottom line message is this is raising funds and raising awareness. And here's the thing. I'm sure you would say the same thing. I know Tracy was talking earlier, we're going for 90 grand, 92 grand this year. But I'm sure you guys would trade it all in if one kid is his or her life is saved or bailed out of a bad situation,
Absolutely.
because that's what it's all about, raising
Absolutely.
awareness. Again, folks can come out here at Stadium Park Plaza. It's our 3rd annual Over the Edge for Child Advocacy event. And again, symbolically, an event you think about if you're heading up there to Rappel, or any of these local leaders are heading up to Rappel, or tomorrow just folks from the community are coming out to Rappel. But symbolically, it's exactly what that little boy or little girl, in whatever situation it is, it's the same exact emotion that they're going
Absolutely.
through. They're standing at the edge of a cliff where they don't know if they jump off, if anybody's going to be there to catch them.
Yes, and the bravery that it takes to go up there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that,
Yeah.
and that does take some bravery for
Right.
sure. Of course, letting go, but the bravery that we see in our kids every day. We say it all the time that these kids don't know us, but
Yeah.
yet they come and they tell us their most intimate stories, and they come and they share their life with us. Being complete strangers to them, and I'm in awe every single day of that.
Yeah. Congratulations on 8 years.
Thank you.
Like I said, it is one of those jobs that's rewarding, but I know there's probably lots of sleepless nights with it as well. At
Absolutely.
the same time. This is a great weekend for you guys to come out, learn more about what the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center does. You can take part in it. You can help get them to that $92,000 goal. Their Venmo is right there on their Facebook page, their website, bracac.org. Also, you can come out and take the plunge as well, right off the edge of Stadium Park Plaza. They
That's right.
are standing by over here. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you for being out here to share the information. We appreciate it.
I am in awe of what you guys do, because you guys are true leaders in the community, and you're saving lives. Like I said, I get paid to yap and act stupid and tell bad jokes. You guys are actually out there changing and moving the meter every day. So we talk about essential services. This is truly one of those essential services. All right, I'm going to let you slide out, okay? Because we're still social distancing. But I see, where's Anna at? Is she over there?
Anna is right
Go
there.
round her up and bring over
Okay.
Anna DeHerde. Did I get that right? Did I get her name? Anna DeHerde. It's a lot of moving parts there with that one. Okay, I'm going to get Anna over here because she's been over here a while as well, and she is got some roots in the school system as well. So I'm going to bring over Anna real quick, and she's been out here, I believe, since about 4 a.m. this morning with everything. Go and grab that mic and make sure it's pushed all the way up there. We'll grab you and chat for a second here. How you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
You're so soft-spoken and so calm right before she goes to the top and pushes somebody off the ledge.
That's right.
That's right.
Things are going great.
Just like we want to do for 2020. We just want to push the whole year right off the ledge. Right
Push it
there.
off. That's right.
I think you're coming up on about 3 years, right, at BRACAC, right?
I have completed 2, so I'm in my
Yeah,
3rd year.
In 3rd year. I remember when you started. It was right around, I believe it was Great Teddy Bear Run where you actually started, right?
I did.
Was that your
yeah, it
first
was
event?
Brand new, my first event. Yep. 2 years ago, we're trying to have our Great Teddy Bear Run, in October. Have y'all already talked about that?
We have talked about that, and
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting for sure. It's going to be virtual, yet in person in a way,
Yes.
but still, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be
Yes,
awesome.
it's exciting. I hope that
Yeah.
everybody comes out for that too. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being at Over the Edge.
Thank you for what you guys do as well. And this is the 3rd annual Over the Edge event. You've seen it grow, just like we've talked to Tracy earlier and Chrissy and obviously Jennifer and the gang. And symbolically what it means, again, it's, I don't want to get into metaphors and things like that, but you think about a child in a bad situation. We talked about those numbers. It'll be close to 500,000 kids in the U.S. sexually abused this year. That's 1 in 10, 3 out of every classroom, basically.
Exactly.
But you think about what it takes to take that step And that's pretty much what folks from the community are going to be doing for the next 2 days here, standing at that edge, wanting to back down, but knowing they got to lean back and know that there's somebody down on belay to catch them. And that's what
Yeah.
this whole journey is about.
Exactly. And just knowing that you have support. I participated last year, and obviously it seems like such a, like duh thing to say that you wouldn't participate, you wouldn't do this if you didn't have that support. And I think about the children, and we see children at our center that have gone through unspeakable things, and just for them to come and know that they're supported. We have caring adults that are here to listen and here to believe, and it takes so much courage for those kids to come and do what they do and speak about what's happened to them. And people are having courage here to be able to go over the edge. So
why not? Yeah, why not? Why not come out and do it now? And you have a background in education teaching as well. Before coming over to the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center, you were in the schools there as well. So you kind of have seen it on both sides of it. I mean, I'm sure when you were a teacher, you probably had kids or saw kids that that you thought, man, there's something, like they need help or something's going on. And now to kind of be on the other side of that fence, if you will, what's that emotion been like over the last 2.5 years?
It was shocking. As a teacher, I taught for 6 years in the classroom, and as a teacher, like you said, I had kids who they disclosed abuse. I had kids that didn't disclose, but I worried. I saw signs, and I wondered, and I took more interest in that child. But I did not realize how many kids have to go through this until I came here, and it is shocking. And I'm sure y'all talked about Kentucky's the #1 state in the nation for substantiated child abuse cases. And so it is happening right here. It happens more than we realize. But on the other side of that, again, what a relief for kids to be able to come to a place where, again, there's those caring individuals there. And it's, we're here to say, it's okay. We are here to help. And we're here to get justice and provide those resources. So it's really a blessing to be able to see both sides of it, and I commend all the teachers.
Right. Yeah. Well, and think about that. Think about the fact that what a resource as well for teachers out there who many times that is one of the closest relationships that a child, especially in that very vulnerable age. I mean, we're talking kindergarten to 5th grade age in that wheelhouse. I mean, obviously we're talking all the way to 18 as well, but still that very, very vulnerable age. Teachers, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, custodial staff, principals, coaches, whatever it may be. But to have a resource like the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center that the teachers and educators can reach out to and say, hey, look, I don't know, but could you help me out here? And I'm sure you guys, that's another avenue that you can help as well. If you're an educator out there and you think there's something going on, they can reach out to you guys and you can help.
Yeah, and I provide training. So I will actually go in and talk to any professional working with kids, any parents, really anyone who wants training. And I talk about how to prevent child abuse. I talk about what to do if a child does disclose abuse. And so we provide that training free of charge thanks to things like this, this event and our grants that we receive. But I also will go into classrooms and talk to the kids about body safety and speaking up when you're uncomfortable. I have a little program that's it's a lion, and his name's Rex.
Okay.
And he's finding his roar. So we talk about using your voice and speaking up. And I always tell all the kids, you are so important, and we value you, and we want you to be safe.
If they want to learn more about programs, and again, as we get back into school and kids are heading back into classrooms, and if teachers or schools want to learn more. And again, we're not just talking Bowling Green, Warren County here. We're talking over 10 counties. Pretty much if you're seeing us out there on the broadcast today, the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center can come to your county, pick it up and come to you. Or if you can't do it in person, if you want to do it over a Zoom meeting or anything like that, I'm sure all avenues are open. How can they reach out and learn more and get the information and help they may need?
Absolutely. You can always look at our website, www.bracac.org. We have all the information about the trainings that I offer, as well as information about all of our services. We have different facts on there if you're wondering about how many kids we serve, things like that. We have a lot of really good information on our website. You can call us. We are here to help. So 270-783-4357.
Go to that website as well, bracac.org, BRACAC.org. I read your hat actually to do that. You can go there as well, and you can make a donation to the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center. Maybe you're still at home, quarantined, or just socially distanced, or just you're out of town and you can't get to Bowling Green to take part in events like this, or maybe you're just like me and you're chicken, you don't want to rappel. Either way, but you can go to the Barren River Area Child Advocacy Center and you can make a donation there. It's 100% safe, 100% tax deductible as well, and it 100% helps fund programs like what Anna does in our schools, in our community. The work that you've heard from our program coordinators and our event partners and so many others out there to make sure that those numbers that I just told you, I mean, we're going to close in on 500,000 kids in the United States in 2020 when it's all said and done. And unfortunately, when you deal with a pandemic, it just makes all these other numbers go up.
Exactly.
It's not just unemployment numbers. It's not just how many meals we provide through our resource centers. It's also unfortunate things like child abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse. It's so many different levels of these things.
So many different things are affected.
And you guys can help move the meter in a good way, by going to bracac.org, make a donation, or better yet, if you're in Bowling Green, Warren County, come out here. Talk to Anna, talk to Jennifer, talk to Tracy, talk to any of the board.
Yes,
They'll
we
chat
are
you up.
here.
You can I'll put a microphone in front of them and they'll talk for an hour. But they would love to not only answer your questions, they can point you in the right direction. They can set up programs to help you. They can get you involved. You know,
right.
maybe you've been cooped up since March and you just want to get
Ready
back
to get
out,
out.
and be back in the community. I'm sure they would love to have some help
Yes,
on these programs.
absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you coming over and visiting with us. I appreciate what you guys are doing as well. Real quick, let's run down the weekend for everybody before
Okay.
we wrap it up here today. As we wrap things up, today we're having, it's kind of like the media VIP / day. We've had some firefighters go up there getting ready to go over, some other leaders from the community, but tomorrow, Saturday, is the big day. Kind of walk us through what's going to be happening on Saturday.
Sure, absolutely. We're going to be bright and early. Our first participants will start checking in, and they will start actually descending at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we will have rappellers from 9 o'clock until 3 o'clock.
Wow.
It'll probably be all wrapped up by 3:30.
Right.
And so we've got people all throughout the day. So you can just tune in. We'll have it live streamed on our Facebook, like you are doing right now.
Right.
And so you can watch on our Facebook. You can come and see the action, and so we're really excited.
Yep, and big thanks as well to all of our sponsors, all of our partners. I'm just looking around here and seeing some names like Med Center Health, Team Health, the Murphy Construction Group, WBKO, of course, Elpo is here. You've got Logan Aluminum floating around, D93, Houchins Industries, Talk 104, the Daily News, WBKO.
And you see this beautiful balloon display.
Yeah,
right
look at
here.
this balloons
Embellish
back
Events
here.
Bowling Green created this. It's fantastic.
That is really, really
Isn't that
nice.
fun?
Yeah, it's like sometimes and I see so many balloons. Did you know David Blaine, right? The magician guy. Did you see where his latest trick where he did the balloon deal?
No, I didn't.
Where he
see
took
that.
all the balloons and he went up in the air with them, and it was like skydived down. It was crazy, like 25,000 feet. It was like the real life movie version of Up. Anyway, I digress. But I saw these balloons. I'm like, I'm going to do my own David Blaine stunt with these when it's over and just go floating away. Absolutely gorgeous. And so I see balloon art like that. It's like, it's so pretty. You don't want to like take it down
I
ever.
know,
Like, I'm just
I
leave it up, you know.
But yeah, come see it in person.
But a big thanks as well, obviously, to all of our great sponsors and partners out there. And a big thanks as well to our friends here at Stadium Park Plaza. Dave
Absolutely.
Pinchuk, our friends at Starbucks
Yes.
downtown as well, because literally you could be sitting in there having like a mocha latte,
Yep.
minding your own business, and then suddenly somebody
then-
goes splat against the window. It's the window, but it's a human body, who took one
Except
dive too many, or something.
No injuries though.
Yeah,
Totally
exactly.
safe.
On belay, on belay. But Jennifer and the gang here, super courteous, letting everybody kind of go down and just go right. Literally, you could, if
Right
nothing
above
else,
Starbucks.
just go to Starbucks downtown and people watch, because you see it like this 3D version of Spider-Man flying right into the window over and over and over.
That's right.
But a big thanks to Dave and all the gang downtown here as well for, again, taking their establishment, which wasn't built for rappelling off of, but for the third year in a row, letting hundreds of people go off the edge of it for a
Exactly.
great cause. So,
Exactly.
learn
And
more.
thank you for being here.
Hey, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Plus, I love events like this when they're downtown. I can walk to them.
Yeah.
It's great. It's right across the street from D93. A big thanks as well to everybody out there who continue to donate, continue to educate, continue to learn. and continue to be brave during a pandemic, during crazy times, but not only taking care of their own families, but also taking the time to look out for other families and other kids out there as well who may be finding that voice to take the biggest over-the-edge step of their life as
That's
well.
right.
So, Anna, good seeing you as always.
Great to see you too.
Good luck this weekend,
Thank
okay?
you.
We've had a blast downtown Bowling Green today, Stadium Park Plaza this weekend for the Barron River. Is that right? BRACAC.org for more information. You can make a donation as well. Thank you guys for tuning into our live stream here today. Hit that like, share, comment button if you